Well, to begin my 14th season last week, it was kind of a rough one, don't you think? Yeah, like coarse sandpaper. But of course, sometimes you have to use sandpaper to weed out to get the smooth edges. 'Cause you know what? This week there was some smooth edges for both Syracuse and for Buffalo. Although for Buffalo, you still have to use a little sandpaper. You know. Oh yeah, we gotta smooth out Josh Allen a little bit. We gotta do something more here. Okay, yeah. Well, we used sandpaper on Syracuse, especially because we took on the puppies, aka the Great Danes of Albany. My mom's almost alma mater. And for a while I'm thinking, oh hell, this is gonna be really competitive against an FCS team. Well, Sean Tucker and the Orange showed that the Orange offense, give it a chance to get it out of its doldrums, it could kick into gear. Almost 600 yards of offense in a 62-24 thrashing of Albany. But of course, it was Albany. Of course, are we at liberty to discuss Orange's opponent this week? Yes, we are. It's the Flames. Liberty, who's actually turned into quite the good team, coached by Hugh Freeze, the former coach for Mississippi, is coming to the Dome on Friday night, and they got a potential first-round pick as their quarterback. I mean, he was recruited by Auburn, but he transferred to Liberty. You know, Liberty is favored. It could be an interesting game. Can we really get some more sandpaper out and smooth out the rough edges some more? Especially all of those dumb penalties. I mean, Babers, what the hell? Yeah, you're trying to coach this team, but what are you teaching them? Lack of discipline? Come on, Babers. Hey, this is a team, and I mean, hey, if you want to be a winning team, you need discipline. All those penalties, they're going to kill drives. They're going to kill things and hamper things. Well, you know, this time, Babers, you weren't yellow. You decided to go for it. Well, you know what? Let's keep going. We took care of some Great Danes, sent them back to the dog pound, and of course, we got some Flames. But you know what? We're going to put those Flames out, Syracuse. Let's go. Now, for some more rough edges smoothed out a little bit, Buffalo went down and took on the Fish. I mean, our thing whenever we go down to play our old friends down there in Miami is to squish the Fish. And boy, did Leslie Frazier rack up a game plan, pressuring Tua Tagovailoa, in fact knocking him out of the game and keeping it up on Jacoby Brissett, even if he was dinking and dunking on our defense for a while. But you know, we held him out of the end zone, and I mean, Josh Allen, he still has got some rough edges. Kind of wonder if he should have played some more in the preseason, you know. I mean, sometimes the preseason is there to work out some of the kinks. It may not be healthy sometimes to hold him out, but of course, everybody digresses. Allen still looks shaky, but at times he looks like the deal that he was last year. And he led us to a 35-0 squishing of those Fish. And now it's on to the Washington football team. You know, this political correct nonsense makes me want to throw up. Especially because we're no longer calling them the Redskins. To me, they're always the Redskins. I often wonder what the Hogs, Joe Theismann, the Diesel John Riggins, Dan Butts, and all the other great defenders who played on those great Redskin teams of the 80s are thinking. You know, of course, the Diesel's probably thinking, crank up that Diesel. Whom, whom, whom. They're the Redskins. Whom. Yeah, the Washington football team. And their quarterback is an undrafted free agent out of Old Dominion. His last name, Heineke. Frazier's got to dial up a game plan to put this kid, who's got a lot of heart, on his Heineke. We'll see how Buffalo does against the Washington football team. But I do have to give big kudos to Miners girls volleyball team. You know what? It was senior night, and they have a great core group of seniors, led by Sydney in the house, Olivia, the phonetic one Christensen, Caitlin, the Razor's Edge Bickham, and swim for it Bridget Miller. You know, they played a pretty tough and game team from Dundee Bradford. At one point, they looked all discombobulated, did the Blue Devils. Dundee Bradford won 28 to 32 points. And I'm thinking, oh man, what a way for their senior night to be ruined. But you know what? It takes character, it takes fortitude, it takes guile, and it takes guts to come back. And boy, did they come back, winning in 5 sets against Dundee Bradford. You know, this team has the guile and they have the character to go all the way and maybe win a sectional championship. It might be the way for Sydney in the house, or swim for it Bridget Miller to get it. You know, good job, ladies. That showed a lot of poise and showed a lot of class. What a win. But I'm going from one end of the high school spectrum to the other end of the high school spectrum, and it really is a concerning one. Both Minders and both Waterloo. I mean, so far, their football teams have really been sluggish getting out of the gate. Sluggish with a big S. Minders' football team hasn't even scored a point, if that gives you any clue. And Waterloo, going against Marcus Whitman Bloomfield, only put up 15 points against their 50. But the point I'm trying to make is Waterloo only has like 15 players on their roster. Minders, I don't think, has too many more than that on their roster. And I mean, you see a lot of these high schools combining teams. Heck, Minders played a combined team from Letchworth, Warsaw, and I think some kids from Perry, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, sometimes 3 schools are putting together kids to be on their teams. Well, that's why you even see teams like Wellsville playing 8-man football. You gotta wonder, is that on the horizon for Minders or Waterloo? Or are they gonna combine forces? My gasp was, I'd never think I'd see it if that happens. Minders and Waterloo together with one football team. As Linda Ronstadt and Buddy Holly famously exclaimed, that'll be the day. But I'm going to go from talking about that to talking about an event that has been under the radar this year and occurs this weekend. And it always is a pretty good battle between the United States and Europe for the Ryder Cup. And I mean, there's a lot of animosity in that between these two. Lately, Europe's gotten the better of the United States. And I mean, Tiger Woods, he's on the sidelines this year, and I'm wondering if he's ever going to pick up the clubs again with the injuries he suffered. But of course, Phil Mickelson, I don't think is on playing. He may be a vice captain, though. But I digress. It always is big whenever the United States and Europe play. But I am going to end it by saying to the Ryder Cup golfers and to Minders and Waterloo's golf team, you know, they say the thing when you get ready to hit the ball, you got to step up and address the ball. Here's how you address the ball. Stand up, plant your feet firmly. Hello, ball! I'm Ken Haas, and that's my story for this week.